Hi, I'm Bob Tunnell, Chief Steward this weekend here at Solo Nationals, and want to talk a little bit about tire pressures and what to look for on how tires wear, picking up buildup and things like that. One of the biggest questions that people always have is, how do I know what tire pressures to run? A good rule of thumb, very general, everybody has their own preferences, but a good rule of thumb is 1 pound for every 100 pounds of car weight. So a 3,000 pound car, you might start with 30 pounds of pressure. A 4,000 pound car, you might start with 40 pounds of pressure. And again, that's just a baseline, a starting point. Front wheel drive cars, you're probably going to want more air in the front tires than you are in the rear. The rear wheel drive cars, it's going to be pretty balanced. All wheel drive cars, I have no idea, I've never had one, but I'm assuming it's going to be balanced front and rear. Once you run the car, you can look at the tires, and by reading certain indicators on the tires, you can tell whether to go up in pressure or down in pressure and on which end, because you can adjust the balance of the car by changing the pressures front to rear. So let's pull a tire off, and then we can see, by reading the tire, we can tell what we need to do with pressures. First thing I look for, and again, this is in an autocross setting where tires will not change too much in pressure from run to run. So we're starting with a pressure that will probably maintain when they get hot as well as when they're cold. But look at the shoulder to see how far they've rolled over. A lot of people will put chalk or shoe polish on the shoulder, but you can usually just see from fresh wear marks how far it's rolling over. Every manufacturer has a different spot. You can see on the Hoosier, it's very hard to see, but there's little dimples along here, and if you're rolling over to those dimples, that's about the right pressure in general. If you see more wear in the center of the tire, you're probably overinflated. If this is rolling over too far, it's underinflated, and you want to add a little bit more. And if it's wearing more on the inside, you've probably got a camber problem. I doubt that has anything to do with tire pressure. But you can read those things and give you a rough idea of how it's feeling. So ways you can adjust the handling of the car from front to rear. A lot of people will lower rear pressures than the front. Like say I'm running 36 pounds in the front, I might drop the rear to 32 pounds to get the car to oversteer a little bit more and get the front to bite a little bit more. Another option, if you want a little more stability, is to go way above your pressure in the rear. So say I had 36 pounds in the front, I might go to 40 in the rear. It rounds out the contact patch a little bit, will give you a little bit less contact patch, but still firms up the sidewall so the car feels more stable, but might still have a little bit more oversteer. If you're looking for more grip in the front, a lot of times going up maybe 2 pounds will help you there. But just adjust either way, and you'll know by testing whatever feels the best and whatever shows up best on the clocks. Now you can see that there's a lot of buildup on this tire, only on this part of the tire on the inside. On the outside, it's pretty clean. This is the rubber that the tire manufacturer wants you to compete on. This is rubber that's been picked up from other cars on the course. We call it OPR, other people's rubber. It's not as fast. If you see this on your tires, it can come from a number of reasons. Typically, this, like if you see it on the inside of the tire, I could use more camber, more negative camber. That would help spread the load across the tire. I'm loading the outside more than the inside. I am a bit camber limited in this car, so it's tough for me to add more. You definitely want to scrape this off, either between runs or between days. This rubber, not as fast as that rubber. You want to get just the surface as clean as you can. We scraped this tire between days, but this amount of buildup is just from 2 or 3 runs out here at Solo Nationals on the concrete in Lincoln Air Park. A lot of local tracks, you won't have this problem. The reason it's an issue here is it's awesome concrete to race on, but there are tar strips everywhere, and the weather gets hot, like it was 97 degrees yesterday. The tar comes out, cars go across it, and that makes the tire a little bit stickier in the non-contact part or the lower contact part and picks up the other rubber. At local events, on most asphalt courses, it's not an issue. It just is out here, so you gotta see it, be aware of it, and know how to take care of it. There's a few other things to look for, like on a 200 treadwear street tire. You look for cupping or feathering. A lot of times that has to do with just overuse, maybe full tread tire. Don't worry about it, don't let it bother you. Just as long as you got a good set of tires, you keep them in as good a shape as possible, it's time to go out there and have fun. Don't let this take away from your fun.